incumbent President Nicolas Maduro has won a third term with 51% of the votes.
President Nicolas Maduro has been re-elected for a third term.
Nicolas Maduro has now been declared the winner in the country's disputed election, marking his third term.
Decir ante el pueblo de Venezuela y ante el mundo, soy Nicolás Maduro Moro, presidente reelecto de la República Bolivariana de Venezuela, y voy a defender nuestra democracia, nuestra ley y a nuestro pueblo.
On July 28, 2024, Venezuela held an election for the next president. While the election yielded a clear winner, Nicolás Maduro, for many Venezuelans, the election was faulty. This episode of the Deep Dive podcast will briefly describe the history of Venezuela, the importance of this election, how it impacts youth in America, and, most importantly, how the media has covered the story. Matthew and Ethan had the opportunity to interview a Venezuelan RUHS student, and here's how that went.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ethan Shee.
And I'm Matthew Vitt.
And this is the Deep Dive podcast. We're here joined by
Mari or Mariana. I don't know.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by asking, like, a little bit about your background. Like, where are you from? Like, when did you move here?
Okay, well, I'm from Venezuela. I'm Venezuelan. And I moved here, I moved here in 2021. And I wasn't planning on moving. So that was one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, I came for a wedding. And when we were here, well, we decided to stay for my future. My parents decided to make that huge change in their life, so I'm very grateful with them. And yeah, it's been a really nice journey. I've learned so many things.
So I was talking to one of my friends who's also from Venezuela.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she said that her parents moved her here for, like, her education.
Yes.
Was that why your parents moved here?
Yes. When I moved here, like, that's a question that a lot of people ask me, like, why you mean education? In Venezuela, you can have a really good education, but I feel like there's a point in your education where you get, like, stuck, and the economy is really bad, and like the government, like it's like a lot of factors that don't let you, like, grow more than just one point, you know, like.
Yeah. I was also talking to her, and she was telling me that it was super dangerous for her to even leave Venezuela, like her family to immigrate. Was that the same thing?
No, yeah. Well, for me, like, I'm really grateful because it wasn't like that way for me. I know for a lot of people, not just Venezuelan people, a lot of people struggle to immigrate their countries when they're in a really bad situation. Mm-hmm. Recently, on the elections, it became way more dangerous because, of course, the government didn't want people leaving the country. But they actually, you need visa to come to the United States or other countries. Well, when they were, like, to renovate their visa, they were like they wouldn't allow people to renovate their visa, so they have to wait like 4 more years or sometimes even more to renovate the visa again, and they could go for after 4 years and the same thing, so they couldn't leave the country. I know, like, people from Venezuela, my friends, who cannot come here because they don't have a visa and they cannot renovate them.
How does that make you feel when you have other family over there? They can't come here. Have you ever felt maybe guilty that you're living here in America with all of this and a lot of your friends are back home?
Yeah, sometimes it was really hard. When I was here, like, I knew there was the possibility that I would stay, but the moment that my mom told me, like, we're staying, it's when everything became, like, clear and real. And it was like I was really scared because I had my family there, my friends there. I didn't really say goodbye to my friends because I wasn't expecting to stay. I was like, okay, I'll see you in 2 weeks, and I didn't say bye to anybody. And I feel like me being here, it's mostly like I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to like what I'm doing right now, like the interview, so more people can know about the situation. And maybe, like, I know it's not much, it's just me, but I can, like, give, like, some Oh my God, I don't know.
No, you're on the right track.
Okay,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, you want more
Get
people
some
to be aware.
awareness.
Yeah, exactly. Like give more awareness, and maybe I can help, and maybe if we all come together and we all like give something, like even if it's small, just a video, just a picture, just a story, I feel like with everyone we can make a change. So that's like my goal, to maybe make a change, and I'm hoping in a few years people can come here finding new experiences or even new education, things like that.
So you mentioned the election and how things are more dangerous now, more than ever, for Venezuelans to leave the country. How are your emotions towards the election?
Oh, wow. Well, since I can remember, like, being in Venezuela, there has always been problems with the election. So it was like a very notorious change. Like, it was like, there's no way you can win, and they still did, by far. So it's like, when I saw that, like, all my family, we were all in front of the TV, and when they said the results, we all start crying because we really had hope. Because it was like, in that moment, it was like that specific moment that could change so many lives. Like, we were here, my family could come, my family there could have a better life, a better future, my friends, like everything. So we kind of were expecting that, but we still had that tiny little hope that it wasn't going to be like that, because we were like, there's no way they can do that, because if they do, everyone's going to know that they stole the elections, but they still did. So
Could you tell us, like, what is the typical life for a Venezuelan in the government, in the economy, in the society?
I feel like it all depends. It's not really like this is how it is and this is how it is for everyone. It's for everyone is hard, but it also depends on many things. There's so many factors that like change how you live and how other people live. It's mostly like it all depends. It's not like, yes, the economy, it's really bad, and things like what people, like, their monthly payments are not enough to buy their necessary things to have in a house, like food. And that's like the reality for many Venezuelans, that they don't get it because of the economy, the how you say that, inflation? Yes, it's so bad that like you can have like your salary is like, it's not like an exact number, I'm just making it up so you have like an idea, $20, and the milk it's like 10. So half of your salary goes to just the milk, you know. You need more than milk, you need eggs, bread, you need to pay the rent if you have if you're renting house. It's like, it's hard. Yeah. So yeah, we started like creating awareness when when they stole the elections, when we found out that they were doing, like, the Venezuelan people were going to one single location, and they were like trying to show like some support to Venezuela. We start going there, we start posting, we start like reposting what other people posted and things like that. And that was actually recently, and it was really nice to see like all the community coming together and trying to make a change, even though we were really far. And our new president, he is like, we have the new president, but Maria Corina, he's like his right hand, and she is, wow. That woman, it's wow. She's like the reason why we are like, there's actually hope. I have hope. A lot of Venezuelans have hope, and I feel like we should like stay there. Like, not losing hope is like the most important thing to actually make a change. It's been many years that many Venezuelans had hope and nothing had changed, but I feel like this time it's different.
Do you feel that sometimes people like will stay on the trend? Like in the beginning, you said a lot of people were talking about Venezuela, and you mentioned that sometimes it's because it was dangerous for people. But do you think that sometimes people with issues like what's happening in Venezuela, they're only aware about it, or only they post about it for a little? Do you feel like sometimes it's a trend to be on these things, or do you feel like people don't care enough?
Yeah, that's very true. And I think it's not just with Venezuela, like a lot of other countries, when they have problems, like one moment where it's like everyone knows about it, and like the next day no one is talking about it. I feel like that also happened with Venezuela. At the beginning, everyone was talking, Elon Musk was talking about it, like
Yeah.
And a few months later, like, I feel like because nothing really, like, we were making a change, but nothing was happening, I feel like a lot of people just lost hope, and they were like, okay. And also, well, a lot of families, a lot of people that are out of the country that have family in Venezuela, they were threatened, so they stopped. And I think that also, like, pushed other people to stop posting too, so.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned that you were going back to Venezuela. Did you say that?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I thought you
yeah,
said you went back to protest even though you were far away.
Oh, no, it was here in California.
Oh, so you went to a protest here?
Here.
Where
Yes.
was the protest?
It was in Los Angeles. I'm not sure. You know the Lakers stadium?
Oh, yeah? Staples
That they
Center?
also do the LA hockey on
Okay,
winter.
oh, yeah.
It was like in that area. That was one. And another one was there too. And I think there was another one in another location, but I don't remember right now.
So did you guys have like signs that you?
Yes.
What was on the sign?
Okay, so so one was like the Venezuelan flag, and you know that it's like yellow, amarillo, azul y rojo, yellow, blue and red, and on the middle we have 7 stars, and it was like the flag without the stars, and it was like a quote saying like, since Friday, that's when people in Venezuela starting protesting there. Since Friday, our stars are in the streets. So basically, we are the stars in the flag. So that was one. And the other one was, I want to get to know the Venezuela that my parents told me about. Because when my parents were kids and my grandparents were kids, Venezuela was such an amazing country. A lot of people immigrated to Venezuela because it was really good. So I really want to get to know that country. And the other one was, like, I think I said it, I'm here, but my heart belongs to Venezuela.
Right.
Yeah.
So that being said, when you're here and you're talking about your heart being in Venezuela, but you being here, have you ever wanted to go back or thought that maybe I should be helping like people in Venezuela?
So many times I've thought like, what would have happened if I was still there? What would my life would be? And I think I said that wrong, right? I don't know.
What would my life be like?
Yeah, same thing. But I feel like I moved here when I was 13. It's been almost 4 years, and I really got used to it, how everything is here. There, like, you can be missing power for 4 hours, and you would be with power for another 5, and then they would take away the power for 2 hours, and there was nothing you could do. Or they would, like, water, you wouldn't have running water for a week, and then on Friday you would have for the whole day, and then they would like close the water again. And that was like in the whole country, and it wasn't at the same time in every single state, but it was like different. It was like we actually had schedules, like we knew when they were going to take away the power, the water, everything, so people could be prepared. And I feel like that's something that not a lot of people don't know. It's actually something that is happening in Ecuador right now. It's like, it's something, it's hard, but I feel like I've been for so many years here that I still think about my life there. Like, I still, like, sometimes, like, in Christmas, it happens a lot. Like, my family's there. I'm not going to spend Christmas with my family. I have family here, but still, I was used to be every Christmas with my whole family, mom and dad side. So that's something, like, I'm going to miss them a lot, but I know I have a better opportunity here, and I really want to make a change. Like, by doing this interview, I want to make awareness. I want to talk about Venezuela. Every time I have the chance, I talk about Venezuela because I love my country.
Right. Given that your family is back in Venezuela, when you are protesting and when you're reposting things, do you ever think about if it could be dangerous for them?
When I was at the beginning, when we were doing it, everyone was doing it, right? And then we found out that people were being threatened if we kept posting. Actually, I know like close people who their families were being threatened. So we stopped, or we did it like just we put our accounts in private, so people couldn't see what we were posting, so only our close friends could see. But after we found out, we started being very careful with what we posted. We try not to post things about the government, but still making awareness.
Do you get scared now that you're doing this interview that something could happen?
Actually, I thought about it, but I don't mind, because I feel like it's something necessary. People need to know, and not a lot of people know. Sometimes I talk to people and I tell them about this situation, and they're like, "Wow, I did not know that. I did not know that." And it's like every time someone tells me I did not know that, I feel good, because I feel like I'm making awareness and letting people know what's going on.
But why is it important for you to make sure other people know?
Because I feel the more people know, the less, I don't want to say that the less corruption can be, because that's really, no. But like the more people know, the less opportunities they have to
Keep it a secret?
Yes. So the more people know, it's more hard for them. And the less people know, the better for them is. So I feel like the more people know, better.
Right. It's like it's easier to cover it up.
Exactly.
Knowledge is sort of power in this situation. The more you know, the more you're able to be aware of, like, and stand up against anything that happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So going back to how Venezuela is portrayed in the media, like, there is a lot of corruption, but do you think that ever takes away from the beauty that you were describing? Like, Venezuela was and still is a great country, like,
Yes.
with great people and great culture. Do you think that sometimes the media that it's associated with is in some way overshadowing the greatness of it?
Oh, yes, a lot. When I say, like, it doesn't happen often, but it has happened that I talk about Venezuela, and everything they know, everything they can talk about, or anything they can think about is the corruption, the economy, the inflation, everything. And I'm like, Venezuela is so much more than that, you know? It's their people. When you're in Venezuela, you feel like at home. It doesn't matter where you are. People are so welcoming and so warm, and Venezuelan people are amazing. Yeah. And their food, and everyone treats everyone like they've been knowing from each other, like, from past years. And it's like you can meet someone today and you can count on them even though you don't know them. That's something. Venezuela has so many beautiful places that you can visit. It's called La Gran Sabana. It's actually like, you know, Brazil, and the part of Venezuela that is like right next to Brazil, it's right there in the Amazonas, and it's so beautiful. I only got the chance to go one time, and I feel like it's something like Venezuela is something else. I love Venezuela.
Kind of piggybacking off that question, I think that there's a lot of, especially in like our highly like politicized world, that there's a lot of people who sort of look at Venezuelan migrants and like, oh, look at all the bad things that they're bringing, this and this. And I think because of that, people have like a negative view, not necessarily towards the country sometimes, but towards Venezuelans and sometimes towards migrants to this country who are looking for like a better opportunity in life. Yes. How do you sort of view that whole situation, and that how do you view that people have?
Yes, it's understandable. A lot of, like, in every country, in every place, there is people who don't do things the right way and people who does. And I don't share those ideals of those Venezuelans who had made mistakes and had made illegal things. I don't share those ideals, and I feel like it's my responsibility to make things right, so those people don't overshadow the good people that I'm here and I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I feel like I said, it's my responsibility to honor that, and to make things right, so those bad situations that bad people don't overshadow the good people from Venezuela that are also here trying to find an opportunity. And
Why do you feel like that's your responsibility?
because I feel like this country opened the doors for me for a new life, a new opportunities, new education, a really good education. And I feel like I have to honor that, like I feel like I have to make things right. And like through me, I feel like I can show what Venezuelans are, so people don't stay with that image of those people who are doing things wrong and illegally.
Is that something that you've grown to grow into and like find by yourself, or is that something that your parents have also been very like adamant about?
I think a little bit of both. When I moved here, I always loved my country, but when I moved here, like that love becomes like 1,000 times bigger, because it's like when there's like a quote that says like, you don't know what you have until you lose it. So like I'm here, it's been 4 years since I don't visit my country, and like that love for Venezuela, it's been like, even though like in Spanish, AP Spanish, I learned so many things about my country that I didn't even know. So I feel like being here had helped me learn more about my culture and about who I am and who I want to be.
How do you think people can be more aware of everything that's happening in Venezuela?
I feel like people can know more about Venezuela and what is going on by looking at interviews like this. Like, what you guys are doing, it's amazing because you're making awareness. And I feel like we need more people who can do that too. Like, you guys making this interview, me doing the interview, or I follow a lot of Venezuelan influencers, and they constantly post things about Venezuela, what is going on. And I feel like following Venezuelan influencers, that could be an option. Or actually following the news on Instagram, they make like small posts, and if you're interested, you can just click on it and see what is happening. I feel like there's many ways that you can like know about it and what is going on.
Leading into our final questions, what does it mean to be a Venezuelan in America?
Okay, ser una persona venezolana en los Estados Unidos siento que es amar más a tu país. Desde que yo llegué aquí a los Estados Unidos, siento que mi amor por mi país ha incrementado de maneras drásticas y en muchas maneras. Conocer a otras culturas me hizo aprender más de mi cultura, ver cómo otras culturas se asemejan a mi cultura, me hizo darme cuenta de cómo todo está conectado y lo hermoso que es ser venezolano. Conocer esta cultura que es tan diferente a mi cultura al principio fue un choque y siento que fue difícil, y estoy segura que no soy la única que piensa de esta misma manera que yo. Al principio es complicado, pero sí se puede, no es imposible. Es difícil, pero no imposible. Así que si estás viendo esto y si eres de Venezuela o de cualquier otro país, hay esperanza. O sea, la luz está al final del túnel. Y queda en ti dar todo de ti y ser fuerte, porque al principio nunca va a ser fácil. Es un camino lleno de rocas, pero lo importante es que perseveres y que pues llegues al final y luego todo va a valer la pena. Yay!
Okay, and then our final question. Yes. Well, actually, it's like a two-part final question. Okay, so first, what is your message to the people watching this video who aren't from Venezuela?
Who aren't from Venezuela?
Yeah, who are just regular people wondering, who clicked on this video saying, oh, what's happening in Venezuela?
All right. You want me to set it to the camera?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. For all those people who are watching this video and they did not know about what was going on in Venezuela, I encourage you to find out more about it. And not only the bad things, like the good things. I feel like that's a way that you can connect more to the culture and maybe understand a little bit more by finding out about our culture. You can, like, I realize like even though the American culture is so different from mine, there's still things that are similar to my culture. And I feel like that's pretty amazing to get to know other cultures, because it's weird to say it, but by like getting more knowledge from other cultures, you can get to know better yours. And I feel like making awareness is really important. And if you're watching this and you know the subject comes up to the table, you can give some thoughts on what's going on. And I feel that's it's important, and it's really nice that you're clicking this video.
¿Y qué le quieres decir a la gente de Venezuela?
That are in Venezuela?
Sí, que están en Venezuela ahorita, que lo están viendo.
Los extraño, extraño a toda mi gente de Venezuela, y que yo sé que es difícil, pero todavía hay esperanza y de verdad no la pierdan, porque sí se puede, como lo dije hace rato, es difícil pero no es imposible y vamos a tener un mejor futuro. Venezuela va a volver a ser la Venezuela que era antes y siento que es importante perseverar y la constancia también. Importante, no pierdan la esperanza. That's it.
Thank you so much for watching. This has been High Tide, the Deep Dive podcast. We hope you join us next time.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.